Hey gang, Shay from JTech and welcome to another JTech video. In today's video, we'll be focusing on two brand new phones that the two biggest Android vendors in the world have released over the last week or so, and that is the recently released Google Pixel 5 and the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. Now these phones are on two different ends of the mobile phone spectrum. One is a flagship and the other is a phone that is responding to the new wave of affordably priced smartphones with great specs under the flagship name. Phones like the OnePlus Nord or the iPhone SE. These two phones are very interesting phones in my honest opinion. I like the features they've brought to the fore, and I'm just going to dissect these two separately and just give my final verdict on what I think about these phones on an individual basis. So let's start with the Google Pixel 5. Now the Pixel 5 is a phone that is hit or miss in some ways. It's a hit in terms of its build quality, its camera, just how good it looks. The display on this phone is so beautiful. The fact that they managed to get all the bezels on this phone to look so symmetrical. This is possibly the best looking Pixel phone Google has made of all time. I mean, this is a phone that last year came out with a gigantic forehead. Everyone remembers the Pixel 3's bathtub size notch. And this phone is the definition of symmetry. If you have OCD whenever it comes to symmetry and making things put in the right place, this phone just makes a lot of sense. And it brought back aluminium metallic build. And the one thing that I've been crying out loud for a very long time is wireless charging on a metallic aluminium built phone. And Google made it work. Google have made it work. I'm going to link a video in how they've made a metallic phone that accepts wireless charging, Qi wireless charging. And this phone does everything well. It makes this phone just more durable, more longer lasting, and more compact. The regular Pixel 5 is a 6-inch, or should I say 6.1-inch 1080p plus AMOLED display, and with that smooth, beautiful, virgin vanilla Android, it's just going to work so well. The only debatable factor about the Pixel 5 in this case is the processor. It uses a Snapdragon 765G, which is a 5G processor. It's been beating out older flagship processors like the Snapdragon 845. But in terms of GPU tests, the Snapdragon 845, which is a 2-year-old flagship processor, has been seen to beat the Snapdragon 765G, which, think of that what you may, it's all relative at the end of the day, bars. But the lesser you think about it, the more you see why Google had to use this mid-range processor in their phones. And this phone comes at $700, which is probably the most affordable Pixel flagship ever. Most Pixels usually cost an upwards of $800 to $900, even just out front $1,000. But this phone has been placed in a market that's very acceptable. I didn't honestly expect this phone to look this good in front. It looks so symmetrical. The bezels are so thin. It's a all-rounded phone. And finally, what we get from Google was an ultra-wide lens, something that we didn't get last year. We got a zoom lens instead on the Pixel 4. The Pixel 5 has brought an ultra-wide lens, and we finally get to see the power of Google's image processing on a much wider angle. And I can't wait to see the samples that are going to come out from what's going to come from the Pixel 5. Moving on to the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE, that's a mouthful. This is a phone that's pretty much what the Galaxy Note 20 is to the Note 20 Ultra, the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE is to the S20 family of phones. It's a plastic phone that has the latest Snapdragon chipset, the Snapdragon 865. It's not the 865 Plus, just the regular 865. And it comes in at a lower price, no curved displays, with a higher refresh rate, of course, as compared to the Pixel 5, which is stuck at 90 Hz. The Galaxy S20 FE, this is going to be hard to pronounce, has a 120 Hz refresh rate display. In terms of pricing, the Pixel 5 does come in at a much lower price, as compared to the FE, which comes at $790 or so, which is relatively cheap. I understand, of course, it still has Samsung's brilliant image hardware, still has this One UI, and it's going to get the next 3 versions of Android from here on out. It's honestly a phone that is hit or and miss in my part. Like, I know this phone will sell well because of the fact that it's Samsung, but it's still a very expensive phone if you think about it. At the end of the year, will you get the regular S20 that came out in February, or will you get the S20 FE? Because the S20 usually goes on sale for a very long time, and you might even get it on at a much cheaper price during the holidays or Australian programs. So the S20 FE places itself in a weird position. If you're someone who doesn't like edge displays for some reason, and you want the S20, you want a flagship phone that's relatively affordable, then you go and get the S20 FE. You get a high refresh rate display, you get great image hardware, you get all of Samsung's bells and whistles. But I think about this again and look at the regular S20 with all its extra features like the space zoom and everything that comes with it, like, you know, glass build, premium hardware, curved displays, curved edge displays. Would you want to get the S20 FE over that? Oh, it's relatively cheap, but again, is Samsung overcrowding the market? If you want to check out the video I did on the S10 Lite and the Note 10 Lite around this time last year, go check it out. This was the same complaint I had with Samsung last year. Is pretty much the same complaint I'm going to have with the S20 FE this year, in the sense that, why does this phone need to exist now? Of course, there are more colors as compared to the bland colors that everyone complained about with the regular S20 early in February, but in terms of features, you know what you're getting with the Galaxy S phone. It's just a flagship phone with the latest bleeding edge specs and everything. It cuts a few corners, but it's still a great phone. With the images I saw, still a very good phone. Now, where do these two phones stand? To quote Dave Lee from Dave 2 Deep, he did say that these two phones stand on opposite end of the spectrum. The Pixel 5 is Google's main pony. The Pixel 5 is Google's party horse. The S20 FE is Samsung's answer to what 2020 has brought in terms of pricing and the craziness going on this year. If you want pure Android at a relatively low price, and although you might not get Snapdragon 865 level performance, you go for the Pixel 5. You know what you get with the Pixel 5. If you want the best of Samsung but in an affordable package as well, you get the Galaxy S20 FE. In my personal opinion though, I would rather pick the Pixel 5 because I know I'm going to get the next 3 versions of Android. I know I'm going to get the best image processing software on the planet. I know I'm going to get a symmetrical phone which has high quality build. You know, you can aluminum or plastic, you pick aluminum all day, every day. It's much more durable, much more premium as compared to plastic. And it's, for me, the better material to pick, unlike glass. So at the end of the day, these two phones have led me in a way to think that this year is just, the pricing for phones is all over the place. The $400 to $700 price point in terms of smartphones is just more fierce. Everything going from $800 upwards is, no one in the majority buys phones in that price point, but at this price point, between $400 to $700 or $750, it's a fierce place. And these two phones, whether depending on your preferences, are still great phones for your money. I'd encourage you to go check them out. Unfortunately, because the Pixel brand name is not as powerful as Samsung or Apple's, like I've said in the past, the Pixel 5 will go under so many people's radar. But for tech heads and enthusiasts and Android fans like myself, the Pixel 5 is a very compelling phone. And I would honestly love to have it as a daily driver one of these days. So yeah, that's the end of the video, guys. Those are my thoughts on the S20 FE and the Google Pixel 5. What do you think about these two phones? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching this video once again. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. It's been Jay from JTech. Talk to you guys next time.